It seems that the world continues to become more productive as people do and deliver more and more. And I'll be willing to bet that you have a lot of areas in your life that you're trying to keep track of. Maybe it's your workouts, your finances, your life goals, the books you read, or maybe just something as simple as planning your day. During this past year, I worked full-time, I released music on Spotify, I went on trips with my family, I went on dates, I hung out with my friends, and still managed to finish a 2-year master's program in just 11 months. So I think at this point, I figured out a way, a system that's very simple, but that works for managing my time. Recently, however, I had a very good friend of mine ask me how I organize my time, how do I go about my day, and how do I get all these things done? And I was gonna record him a video on how I do these certain things and what are my systems and how I operate within certain platforms and softwares. But I figured I could make a video because I think more people might benefit from it. So I asked him, I was like, hey, is it cool if I just, take a few more days to send this to you? Because I really want to make a video about it, and I truly think that people are going to learn something from it. So I want to welcome you to this 5-part series that I'm calling I Cloned My Brain, in which I'm teaching all of the systems that I used to stay close to success during my busiest times. Throughout this series, I'm going to focus on a couple of softwares and websites to discuss 4 different categories. The 4 categories are time management, personal goals and trips, personal finances, and education. I could have taken this 5-part series and condensed it into a 1 video thing in which I kind of just give the general idea of each one of these processes. But then I went back to my friend and I said, it's like, hey, what do you think is going to help you more? Is it me diving into the nitty-gritty of each section? Or is it making, this, I guess, slightly larger but less specific video? And he said, oh no, the nitty-gritty for sure. I would rather see exactly how you do this stuff rather than, seeing general information that I can find somewhere else. So buckle up, because this is exactly what I did. Here's how I cloned my brain to be more efficient. Hi, I'm Luis, and if you've been following this channel for a while, you probably already know that I'm obsessed with being effective with the things that I have to do, so I can do the things I want to do. When you have a lot of things going on at the same time, the one thing you can always count on is that your brain is going to be overwhelmed. There's going to be a lot happening, your thoughts are going to be overflowing, you're going to be thinking of a lot of things, and the information needs to be put down somewhere. So that's why you need to clone your brain, so you can place the information somewhere that you can easily be reminded of it, or you can easily retrieve it. In this intro video, I'm going to be talking about the 2 main tools that I use, to retrieve and be reminded of information. And before you head there, I would like to introduce you to the 2 main tools we're going to be using. Think of Notion as a second brain meets note-taking, meaning you can take all sorts of notes, but you can also reorganize them as much as you'd like. So you always find me using Command P to search for things. And if you're on a Windows machine, that would be Control P. I use it for all sorts of things, from notes I took in classes or scripts I created to writing songs and organizing my finances. GoodNotes is another note-taking app, but it also recognizes handwriting. I use it for brainstorming, mind maps, and to search within PDFs. And this last feature alone could be life-changing for some students. Alright, so it's finally time for me to jump into the computer and start, showing you a couple things. I'm gonna buzz through Notion and GoodNotes. It's gonna be very quick, it's just an intro, but I hope you're ready, because these are fun. Cheers to kombucha in the morning, 8 a.m. No coffee yet, no coffee yet. Welcome to Notion. If this is the first time seeing this application, you're gonna see a lot of value in this. This is generally how I organize every single one of my home pages. Nothing too fancy. Some people make it super aesthetic. I don't have the capability, so I just keep it simple. On the left here, I put a couple of to-do things, and I tried the KISS method, the keep it simple stupid. So I generally try to keep 4 main tasks on my day. And in this case, work, and then record the end of the I Clone My Brain series, which is what you're seeing here right now, going to the gym later, and then dinner with my friend. Over here on the right, we're gonna discuss these tabs later on later videos. Nothing to worry about, but you can already see that you can link other things within the pages, right? And then over here, I generally leave smaller to-do lists right here of things that I need to do or I want to do. So like on my personal, I'm finishing a book, I want to figure out what I'm reading next, and I want to finish up my website. From the work level, this is an example. If you had to deliver a project to Steve by Monday, you can make this dynamic, right? You can type in, let me do something here real quick. I can change it to the 20 or to the 4th, whatever, the following Monday or the Tuesday. It will update that daily, which is kind of nice. So you can have theoretically a to-do list here on the side with these toggle lists drop down, and you can see, you know, what kind is coming up. That's a good example. You can have a passion project down here. In my case, it's music, so I'm recording this song soon. I've recorded it and we're going back and forth with a couple of renditions. So, you know, this is where does it stand, what's going on, kind of what's coming next. And then over here, whatever other tasks you may have. So if you renew gym membership, buy tickets to Blue Note, which is a jazz club in New York, which I kind of want to go. Find location of camping trip, whatever, you get the point. So this is Notion. Okay, with the Notion out of the way, let's get into GoodNotes. Let me pull this up here real quick. Now, GoodNotes is not free as far as I know. I think when I bought it, it was like 10, 15 bucks. I know it went up. You can buy a yearly membership situation, or you can do a one-time fee. I did a one-time fee when it was still GoodNotes 5, so they just came out with a bunch of like AI tools. I don't need it anymore, I don't care for it anymore, so this works for me, and I think you keep that in mind too. Just get what makes sense. This particular tool is very important for a couple of reasons. One, let me jump into the master's program over here, just done here, boom. I kept track of all my notes, right? All my classes are over here. And there's a couple features that I think are super interesting. The first thing is that you can search for PDFs, and so like if you drop PDFs over there, PDF over here, you can search within them here. But you can also search for handwritten notes. So if you create mind maps and you wrote something down and you know you wrote something down, you can search that up, which is very friggin' nice. So like, let's look up real quick, decision trees. Here, decision tree on one of my notes. Boom, it's over here. And you can immediately, I think I just used the eraser too. There you go. You can immediately find notes for you, which is fantastic. And you can do the same for, you know, obviously PDFs. You have other, you know, things for your decision tree over here on a different class, and so on. The idea is that you can create mind maps quickly, which I think is very, very, very powerful for any student. On an additional note, if you ever have open book tests, this is fantastic, especially if they're online, because you can search for it. Now, again, I'm saying open book, don't cheat, don't use this for cheating. That's not a conversation that we're having over here. If you're watching these videos with that intent, this is not the place for you, right? Let me be very clear here. This is not the place for you if this is your goal. But for those that want to do it the right way, you can have an incredible tool at your hands for those types of tests, because now all of a sudden, as long as you're familiar with the topics, so you skimmed through the topics and you know where things are in case you need to go more in depth into them, this saves you hours, because if this is an open book test, well, you know where stuff is, right? So this is really powerful. I'm going to talk a lot more about GoodNotes and we'll go from there. If you think this series is serving you well, please consider heading down to the link below where you can get this course free of ads, as well as access to a PDF that summarizes everything you're going to see here, and access to the Unsung community, which is where you'll find a lot of individuals that want to use their time wisely. The course is in a pay what you want format, so you can actually just throw in whatever you think it's fair, because my goal over here is to get you started in this community so you can start, you know, seeing what we're all about. Okay, now that you understand these two main softwares, I hope you're ready because the next video is all about time management and how I used my time to get my master's degree twice as fast as everybody else.